Alrighty then. First things first.
Welcome to Never Done Projects,
where we are just a silly little YouTube channel. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and consider joining the member on the wall and out by the road for only $4.99 a month. Alright, I figured, if we already got 10 likes and I hadn't even went live yet, I guess I could treat you all to going live 21 minutes early. Lotus is first and says it's hump day. Jane's second. You only had to wait about 19 minutes, Jane, or 9 minutes, whatever it was. Amber said hump day. Hello, Amber, Jane, Lotus, Hazel, Matthew, Justin, Boston Bill, Alexis, and Daniel. Hello, everybody. Hazel said hi. Matthew said, Matthew, hell yeah, brother. Jane said, hey, Lotus, Amber, Matt, R3, and Pops. Hello, Jane. Justin, a.k.a. Daddy with a capital D, said morning. Morning, Justin. Good night. Jane said, hey, hi, Justin. Boston said, hey, y'all, I hope everyone's doing great. Say hi to Pops and that the chat. Much respect and love to all. Appreciate it, Boston Bill. I'll tell him you said, hey, if you ain't in here when he gets in. Hey, much love here from the Never Done Projects crew. Jane said Mike is getting tornadoes out his way. Oh, shoot. I hate to hear that. Remind me to check on him. Lex said 3 and 11. Jane said hi, Bill. Daniel said happy Wednesday. Hello, guys. Hello, Daniel. Happy Wednesday. Halfway through the week. Couldn't be done with the week sooner, I swear. Jane said hi, Daniel. Boston Bill said hi, y'all. Hello, Boston Bill. Lex said yes, 7-Eleven. Did you win the convenience store on your scratch off? Boston Bill said hi, everyone, with a bunch of waving hands. Madison said hi. Hello, Madison. Jane said it's pouring here, supposed to get wind later. The first time I read that in my mental space, I read that as it's supposed to get weird later. I said, somebody lock Lotus up. But ain't no telling what's coming down this way then if y'all getting that. Lex said 7 and 12, and yes. Easy. Jane said hi, Maddie. Alexa said 6. 9. Jane said, what did you get done today? I did a set of tires. I took off a set of tires. I cleaned part of the paint booth. I worked 7.5 hours. I sweat a lot. And I just realized, the only thing I've had to eat today is a little bit of leftover seafood from last night. But paint booth is slowly making progress. But hey, I mean, every day above ground is supposed to be a great day. Madison said, hey, Jane. Alexa said 12. John Glad said you started early. Hi. Hello, John. I figured, there was 10 likes. And I hadn't even started the live. That was 10 people who were excited enough to come in early and like the live. I said, y'all deserve for me to start it early. So, y'all get me for an extra 20 minutes today. Madison said, hey, Jane. Alexa said 12. Oh, excuse me, I was already at that. Alexa said hi. George Colby said, what does the numbers mean, man? No, my name's not Jason. No, not Jason. Mason. The numbers, Mason. What do the numbers mean? I don't think the numbers on the wall are just the people's usernames. Jane said hi, John. Amber said hi. Hello, Amber. Jane said hi, George. Georgia Jungle. Alexa said yes. Amber said hey, Jane. Jane said Pop's out on the toy. Yes, he is. He got off a little later today, considering he had another heat run to do. Yoshi said, do you enjoy spicy food? If I eat spicy food, the only thing that I want with it is for it to taste like something besides just heat. I'm not a big fan of spicy food, but if it's got some good flavor to it, I'll eat it. George said the numbers in the chat. My fault. Alexis puts how many people are watching and how many likes we have. Like right now we have 12 people watching and 15 thumbs up. She's a little shy, so she doesn't say much. So that's what the numbers in the chat are. But hey, it's all good. Amber said, how are y'all? I am tired, Amber. I have been in a lot of pain today. Ibuprofen helped a little. And then guess what? I come here because I felt a little bit better. I decided, you know what? Let's do a lot of work. And then I ended up hurting myself worse. So yay. Jane said, Alexis is saying how many people in the chat and how many likes. Thank you, Jane. Cootie Queen said, early? What? Cootie Queen, there was 10 likes. And I hadn't even clicked the go live button. I said, the heck with that. I'm going live. Y'all deserve it. Hornby said, I hate fake Lego. They're just never as good as the real thing, are they, Hornby? Alex said 12 and 15. Jay said, hey, Cootie. And hi, Hornby. Cootie said, hello, Jane. Alex said, dog burp. Team Richard said, hi, Randy. Hello, Richard. How are you doing today? It would be a lot better if it was cold. Richard said, hit the like. I would appreciate it. Can we hit 30 likes in 30 minutes? I've been live for approximately 5 minutes, and we've already got 17. I think we can do it, y'all. Jane said, LOL, fake Legos don't stay together. No kidding. And hi, Richard. Lex said 15 and 6. Amber's back hurts. I hate to hear that. Is that just your back hurting, or is that to do with the baby? My back hurts because I need to take them out off. But I was having them big meat liver hoovers. Lex said 16. George said, how are you, Jane? Richard's waving at Jane. Jane said, George, I'm doing well. How are you? Jason said, they're at the Pride Parade with their uncle and their dad, and they get tag team behind the dumpster. That's weird to come into a random person's live and say, but hey, whatever floats your boat. Lex said 15 and 17. Cootie said, had homemade gumbo for dinner with rice, chicken, sausage, and shrimp. What did you have, Chip? Cootie Queen, I'll tell you right now, I might have to go northbound to Rhode Island to get some of that. That sounds delicious. I have had nothing. I ate at 7:30 this morning. I ate like a half a piece of flounder, a couple bites of green beans, and half of a crab cake. And that's all I've had all day today. Worked all day in the heat, come here, worked in the heat some more, and guess what? Worked in the heat some more. I do have 2 chicken biscuits with ketchup and some leftover, some kind of pasta that makes me dookie. I will gladly eat the pasta, and I might save the biscuits for tomorrow. Lex said 17, 15, 18, 14, 18, yes, and 11. Jane said, Richard, did your football/soccer team win last night? I think he won. I think they won. Amber said, probably the baby. Because the baby back. Just think, one of these days that baby ain't going to be in there to bother you. And it's going to be a little sad. Richard said, Jane, yes. Man, where's Maria at? She's going to be mad at you, Richard. Iraq lost to y'all. Jason's laughing. I'm glad you can take a joke. Jane said, Amber, if you aren't pregnant enough to have back pain, it gets worse. Oh, God. Don't tell her that. It's all worth it. It's a labor of love. Yoshi asked a very philosophical question. What do you think is the secret to a fulfilling life? My opinion, it's not facts, it's my opinion, is doing what makes you happy. Alright? If you want to get married, get married. If you don't want to get married, don't get married. If you don't want to have kids, don't have kids. If you want to do any of that, then do it. Don't let other people's opinion dictate your life, because they might have an opinion that they just expressed to you that's not their true opinion. They might just want to see you not do what they dreamed of doing. I will tell you one thing that I think makes a big difference is if you decide to get married, settle down, date, whatever, is you find somebody that you share your hobbies with, or you can share their hobbies with, and that y'all work on each other to make each other happy. Communication with that other person helps a lot. But just depends on what your goals in life are. Everybody has different things. Hornby said, look up the computer. The words hottest gummy bear, because I'm a gummy bear. Oh, I'm a yummy, yummy gummy bear. Now you got that song in my head. I might later. George said, I'm pretty good. Thank you for asking, Jane. Glad to hear you're doing good, George. George. By the way, for the last 28 days, we have netted -2 subscribers. I would appreciate it if we can get +2 tonight. We not lose them. Let's see here. Jane said gumbo sounds yummy. Wait, no sardines, right? Shoot, with the rest of that, I can probably overlook the sardines. Amber said, oh no, I'm scared. My back is already messed up. It's worth it. You will be okay. I believe in you. Lex said 18. Hazel said ice cream man. Hello, Hazel. I could really go for an ice cream, but boy, my stomach's already hurt. Lexa said yes. Jane said, Richard, don't tell Maria. Shh, she's mad. She's from Iraq. Yeah. Maria said she tried Mexican and Turkish food. She really liked it. Yoshi said, what's the funniest story involving a night out? I really don't have stories. One time I was a designated driver for a bunch of cop friends. I will not disclose any names because I don't want anybody to get in trouble, even though they probably have already lost their jobs. But I don't drink. So I was a designated driver for these people. And this group, they were a group of friends. It was 2 guys and a girl. They were going to the same sheriff's department. I was going to city police. So it was me and 3 of my other city police friends. And they met us there. Again, designated driver here. They show up and they were already popping pills and drinking on the way there. They were so messed up. We piled 7 people. It was either 7 or 8 people into an extended cab Ram 2500. And I drove them back to the guy's house. We all stayed the night there. And the next morning we had to go back and get their vehicle. That's the craziest night out I've ever had. And I wasn't even the drunk one. Jane said, George, where are you from? The jungle. Duh. Richard said 4-1, LOL. Man, I hate to hear that. But then again, I really like that. Let's see here. Lex said 15, 18, 14, 18. Jane said Norway kicked booty. Yeah, they did. Yoshi said happy is good. If you're waiting for other people to make you happy, Yoshi, you're going to wait your whole life and just be disappointed at the end. Fifth River Rat said free speech is the most essential right to a person can have. Without it, you have no others. I think we weren't put on this planet to be ruled. I think we were put on this planet to have freedom. So I agree with that. George said Jane. America. Jane said River. True. Carlo said sup y'all. R3. Hello Carlo and Papa Renzo. Amber said 20 likes. Look at that, y'all. We've already got 20 likes. I've only been on here for 11 or 12 minutes now. Thank y'all very much. Can we get 10 more in 9 minutes? Yoshi said, what's a lesson you learned the hard way? That happiness thing, if you're waiting for other people to make it, you're going to be disappointed. Another lesson that I've learned the hard way is some of the loudest people that cheer for you are also behind your back wishing you would fail. Rome wasn't built in a day. Lesson I learned the hard way, when cutting a tree, sometimes it's best to stay still. I have many other lessons, but that's some ones that come to mind. Lexa said 13. Richard said Jane with a fist pound, a goofy face, a soccer ball, and a thumbs up. Amber said, my bad. It's all good, Amber. I knew what you were saying. Jane said, awesome, George. I'm in Ohio, but we come from all over. Yes. George, I'm in North Carolina, a little small city called Denton, D-E-N-T-O-N, about 45 minutes north of Charlotte, North Carolina. Lex said 20. Carlo said sup, Amber. Amber said sup, Carlo. Cootie said no sardines. Jane, LMAO, I'm a cry. Well, that sounds like an amazing meal, Cootie. John said it's 69 degrees, 30 miles west of Chicago. Rained all day. It says it's 88 degrees here and sunny. I think I've seen 3 clouds in the sky and they were fighting. But apparently it's raining up there toward, obviously, Chicago. Ohio is pretty bad. And up there where Mike is, apparently getting pretty bad. So I imagine it's coming down here. Lex said yes and 13. George said I'm in MD, Jane. My bad. MD. Is that Maryland? No, it's covered. That's awesome, George. Madison said, you won't remember all the pain and will want to do it again? Yeah. Listen, if you mad about being in pain and being pregnant, just remember all that pain and the misery you're in 6 months after having that baby. Jane said, hey, Carlo and Papa Renzo. Alexis said, 20. Lotus said, hello, Lotus. I saw you were first. Cootie said, I think it was really damn good though. I put extra okra in it because my boyfriend and I love it. Hey, I like some fried okra. That sounds like an amazing meal, Cootie. Lotus said he's cooking dinner. What we having, Lotus? And then, hey, Jane, Carlo. Carlo said, hello, Jane. Jane said, John, no bad weather up there? Lotus said, what up, big rando? Oh, not too terribly much. I was working on the Vigimamo, and I saw that we already had 10 people in the live. I said, no. If we already got 10 likes before I ever even clicked go live, y'all deserve for me to come live early. Cootie said, hey, Lotus. Madison said, hey, Lotus. Alexis said 18. Lotus said, hey, Cootie. Carlos said, sup, Lotus. Alexis said 20. Lotus said, hey, Madison. Hornby said, box contains one ridiculously spicy gummy bear. 9 million Scoville units. 900 times hotter than a jalapeno, made in the USA. Unit type, gram. Hornby, that does not sound like something I would like. Yoshi says, damn. Yeah. Jane said, Hornby, nope, no thanks. Yep. Mike said, it's hump day. Mike, what day is it? Carson said, what's your dad doing? He is out there playing on the skid steer. Whoever says boys grow up and don't play in dirt anymore, don't have a skid steer. Lex said 14. Yoshi said, that does sound like a crazy night out. I never went out with them again because some extracurricular activities happened downstairs afterwards with the 2 guys and the girl. And then, yeah, we'll leave the rest of that to history. Lex said 20. Madison said, hi, hey, Cootie, hey, Mike. Lotus says, just raining up here, Jane, not even windy. Well, that's good to hear. Alexa said, yes. Cootie said, I've been emotionally drained today, can't handle kids too long, and I'm overstimulated AF. And hello, Madison. I can understand that. I'm emotional every day. Jane said, hey, Mike, you safe? I heard Forsyth and the tornado warnings. I hope you're okay. Lotus said, what's up, Mike? Mike said, hi, Madison. Carlos said, Lotus picked up a OS Speed R21 Murillo Clio modified, has half a gallon after break-in, has great pinch and compression. That's pretty awesome. I know what 3 of those words are. Barron said, hello from Ohio. Hello, Barron. I like your raccoon picture. Carlos said, sup, Mike? Lex said 16 and 20. Mike said, Jane, Forsyth, Missouri? Question mark. Jane said, hi, Barron. Cootie said, how long are y'all staying on tonight? Till 9 o'clock. Unless Dad ends it sooner. I will leave again about 8 o'clock, going home. I do need a shower. I am stinky. I have sweated it a lot today. But anticipate 9 o'clock as long as people stay in and chatting. Dad will stay on till at least 9 o'clock. Lotus said, sweet, Carlo. Lex said 16 and 21. Carlo said, hello, Madison. Mike said, hi, Lotus, Carlo, and Jane. Jane said, I think, Mike, it's too bad to west of Indiana and Illinois. Lotus said, no more running like a squirrel. Yeah, no shit. I watched too many squirrels and I zigged instead of zagged. Carlos said, thank you, Lotus. Alexa said, yee. Yes. Yoshi said, what's your guilty pleasure? Ice cream. And burnouts. Mike said, Jane, I don't think it's here. The sun's just shining, but it could change in 5 minutes. Jane just heard thunder. I don't know why Madison timed him out for 60 seconds. Yeah, it's nothing bad. What the heck, Madison? Jane just heard thunder. Lex said, yes. Mike said, hi, Alex, Cootie, and Barron. Lex said, car. Brent said, what up, Randy? What's up, Brent? Y'all got that ethanol tonight or they're going to be in the morning? Jane said, hi, Brent. Richard said, smash the like. I would appreciate it if y'all would. Let's see. Yoshi, if you're still in here, our 18-month-old apparently timed you out for 60 seconds. That's going to be Madison's excuse. I do apologize, but I'll read it anyway. What's your favorite comedy of all time? I'll tell you, my favorite comedy was Rodney Carrington back before he got worse, and I really liked Gabriel Iglesias, but I've not watched a comedy show in a long damn time. But whenever your 60 seconds is up, oh, there it is. He said sad. I apologize for that. I'll apologize for the 18-month-old. Stop! Don't let Addie do or Allie do that again. Cootie said hello, Mike. Lil and 4 said hey R3, just dropping in to send some love in the gang. I got shit to do, but I wanted to say hey, don't be a bum, hit the thumb. Thank you, Lil and 4. Appreciate you coming in, hitting that thumbs up for me. You be careful doing all that shiznat. Good to hear from you. Madison said Allie had my phone, sorry. Jane said, oops, sorry, Yoshi. Lil and 4 said hoping Addie and Allie are living it up this summer. I think they're having a good summer. Yoshi's sad. Maria said his favorite comedy is balloon gum. My favorite comedy is somebody whose English is not their first language trying to figure out what things are called. Jane said favorite comedy, anything with Robin Williams. He died before I really figured out a lot to do with what he was doing, but he was a pretty funny guy. Yoshi said it's okay, Jane. Maria said 18-month-old Allie. Allie's 18 months old. Really, she's approaching 19 months old. Jane said, hi, Maria. Hey, Lil and 4. Maria said, I think you're 800-month-old, Randy. Hold on, let's see. How many months old am I? I'm 360 months old, you shit. Not even yet. Jane said, hi, Maria. And hi, hey, Lil and 4. Yoshi said, yeah, Robin Williams was great. Yeah, like I said, he passed before I really knew too much. Carlos said it's 39.2 degrees Fahrenheit here in Perth, Western Australia. Y'all keep that. Says it's 88 degrees Fahrenheit here, Carlo. Madison, sorry. Andy said, I love this World Cup so far. That's awesome, Andy. All I know is somebody here is going to be upset about the loss last night. Lil and 4 said, buy Madison some flowers. She deserves it. Lil and 4, we're going to talk about that. I don't like buying flowers. Jay said, hey, was so gifted. Every time he would get a guest on any show, he would improvise. That's awesome. Carlos said, hello, Maria. Richard said, Madison, hi. Maria's laughing. Jane said, hi, Andy. Madison said, hey, Richard. Lil and 4 said, hey, Jane. Mike said, hi, Richard. How are you? Jane said, LOL, World Cup is a sore subject for some. Yes. Cootie Queen gave $9.99 and said, number 1. Cootie, thank you very much. You are number 1 in all of our hearts. Nickel Pony said, hey, Mr. Unbreakable and all the NDP crew. Day 4 vacation. Realized today how much of a bond me and my own bed have made or have had. Yeah. That's the only thing about going on vacation. You ain't got your bed no more. But how you doing today, Nickel Pony? How is the vacation? Jane said, hey, Nickel. Lotus said, hey, Maria. Sup, Nick? Mike said, hi, Nickel Pony. Richard said, Mike. Hello. Lone Wrench, Mike, with a wave and a fist pound. Madison said, hey, Nickel Pony. Lil 4 said, buy her a tomato plant, then everyone wins. Addie would love that. But Madison has a black thumb. She would kill that tomato plant as soon as I got it for her. But I have thought about getting her an equal right, equal left. No, I'm kidding. Carlos said, do you have to buy number 1 spot, Cootie, not earn it? Hey, that XP system is silly. Jane said, Cootie, you were already number 1, weren't you? I'm pretty sure she was. Everybody is number 1 in my book, but some people are just competitive. Mike said, hello, Maria. Cootie said, I better be. Goosey said, hi, guys. Hello. If I'm saying that wrong, please let me know. Nickel Pony said, hey, Miss Jane and Lotus. Watch that weather up there. Heard it's going to get squirrely. I hope not. Lotus says she is definitely number 1 in their wallets. Yep. I think she's single-handedly the reason YouTube pays out every month. Nickel Pony said, hey, Miss Madison, Cootie Queen said, you stole it from me, RC. LL, so I simply had to take back what was rightfully mine. Nickel Pony said, hey, Mike James said, you know, with all my shit I say in here, I'm number 14. WTF. You were the second one in, and you're number 14. That makes no sense. Let's see, what number am I? Oh, I'm over number 50. My bad. I've not even chatted on mine. Nickel Pony said, hey, Mike James said, you know, oh, excuse me. Lotus said, I didn't even notice. Lil Force said, my money is on Madison. No offense, R3. You know, I've had my butt whooped by her. She busted my eye over here one time with a Gatorade bottle. Oh, it's Lucy. You changed your name. I was wondering why I didn't recognize it. How are you doing, Lucy? Jane said, hi, Lucy. Cootie Queen said, no, I was number 1 in the first 10 minutes of stream. Then RC took it, and I took it back. Lucy said, the one who does theater. I got you now. How are we doing? Hold on, I got to write that down. Where's my... Hold on, I got a legal pad somewhere. A legal pad for my illegal activities. This is for my tax evasion. Let's see here. GEUCY7 is Lucy. There we go. I got it wrote down. Damn, that hurt. Let's hear. Carlos said, no, I didn't steal anything from you, Cootie. Lotus said, you may be number 1, but I was the first, and you can't buy that. That is true. Madison said that she likes to yeet stuff at my face when I'm not paying attention. Lucy's doing amazing. She is at her pastor's house. That's nice. Lotus said she meant me, Carlo. Carlo said, oh, okay, Lotus. Lil Enforcer, oh, well, thank God you have it in ink then. Yeah, no kidding. Nickel Pony said, bless you. So did Madison and Jane. Thank all 3 of you. Tell you what. This pollen's getting to me. I blew out part of the paint booth, what was it, Monday? And ever since then, I've been hocking up and snotting out a bunch of dang black junk. And right here at the bottom of my nose feels like it could catch on fire any minute. Lotus said, I don't know how I keep getting first. It's random dumb luck. That XP system, like I said, it makes no sense. Like 3rd place is George and he ain't talked in a little bit. Lotus is 4th. Maria is 5th. Yoshi's 6th. Yeah. Number 14 all the way to number 3 is all 75 XP and it makes no sense. Lotus said insulation. Oh, absolutely. If you've seen the video of what the paint booth looks like, I swept some of it with all that dust on the bottom. And after I got done sweeping and getting up all the sawdust, I got the leaf blower and blew it all out. So it's still nowhere near done, but yeah, that was a mistake. Don't do as I do, kids. Lotus saw. Yeah, so you know I got a lot of work to do in there. But be on the lookout. Dad's going to be on the skid steer a lot, and I've been doing work inside. I am working on the paint booth. We're going to get it back to a paint booth. We will be doing ventilation. I will be putting stuff on the walls, like boards, either shiplap or something of that nature. So just be on the lookout for all that. Cootie said, no, I meant Big Boy Toys RC because I remember being shocked I was number 1. And then I look back and you were number 1. And Lotus, you might have been here first, but I had a kid to watch, LMAO. See, like, Carlo is at 175 XP. But like George and Lotus and everybody's at 75. I don't understand how YouTube gives out the XP. I'm glad to see that YouTube likes giving Carlo the XP. But it doesn't make sense to me. Lotus said, you really need a mask. That shit ain't good for you at all. I agree with you 100%. I'm not even going to give a rebuttal on that, but I absolutely agree with you. I should be wearing some type of a mask. I just don't want to be mistaken for certain people. Little Force, we're all number 1 in our own way. That is exactly right, Little Force. Carlos said, hey, 2 can play this game, Cootie. I got the lot to play with. Uh-oh. American Maker said, hi all, hope you're doing well. We are good, Jacob, hope you are. Love Force sent a happy poop for 10 joules. Thank you very much. I like the happy poop. Jay said, thin sliced toast, sourdough bread, peanut butter, honey, and sliced banana sandwich. You had me for every part of that except honey. I used to like to slice up bananas and put it on the white bread and mayonnaise. I thought that was damn good. Cootie said, big boys, what's with the hostility with the frowny face? Look, we can all get along. And it said, LMA, oh. I feel like a seal. Richard said, hit the like and smash the like. I would appreciate it if you did. Jane said, hi, Maker. Wait, that's not Jacob. My bad, Maker. I apologize. I don't think that's Jacob. Lotus said, I hate masks too. I mean, I hate them, but insulation dust will make you feel like poop for a week or so. Probably better to breathe in that hot air and be a little hot with that mask on than feeling like doo-doo. Jane said, you really can't taste the honey. Just adds a little bit of sweetness. Okay. I'll have to try that sometime. Lotus said, hey, Murky. Cherry said, hey, how you doing? We're good, Cherry. Hope you are. Hope you were doing just swimmingly today. Lotus said, that's the conclusion I have come to. Well, I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I need to take some advice from you. Cherry sent a gold coin for 10 joules. Thank you very much. Jane said, hey, Cherry. Cherry said, I'm good, thank you. And hi, Jane. I'm glad to hear you're good. I'm glad to hear when people are having good days. I know our friend in Iraq, she's probably not having a good day, but every day above ground is supposed to be a great day, right? My love handle was itching, sorry. Really need something besides this. I need an ICGW. Cherry said, thank you, sir. Not a problem. Love Force said, life is better with a happy poop. I second that. It's better to be pooping when you're happy than happy when you're pooping. Wait. Damn it, Randy, that makes no sense. Who let me try to write jokes? No, unacceptable. Unacceptable. Love Force said, facts. Facts over feelings, my friends. Madison said, what? LO, don't point it out, Madison. Nobody asked you. Jane said, I was cleaning out my shed and should have used a mask. Well, this whole building is old, as we've already discovered, from 47 to now. So you're talking this building is just shy of 80 years old. So yeah, there's no telling what has accumulated over the years. People seen that paint booth open, slammed on brakes, and whipped in, said, I've not seen that thing ever opened. So there's no telling what's built up in there. Probably a bunch of lead paint. So if y'all see me drooling at the mouth, just know I ate a lot of lead paint. Carlo said, I know all about poops. You're the pooping king, Carlo. Everybody thinks I am at work because I poop before work and before I put off of work. But when you got to go, you got to go. Jenny said shed was filthy and I had to evict raccoons. Oh, don't be mean to raccoons. Ryan at VR6 Prodigy said, hey, R3. Hello, Ryan. How are you doing today? My phone's going to die. Plug it up. Plug it in, plug it in. Lotus said, wow, 2 poops in 8 hours. Bold of you to assume I work 8 hours. Jane said, hey, Ryan. Lotus said, how do you do it? I have the runs. Little Force said, the only advantage anyone has over us is the fact that they can kiss our ass and we can't. I like that a lot. Ryan said, I'm okay, tired as hell. I hate to hear that, but I'm glad you're okay. Lotus said, sup, Ryan. Ryan said, hey, Jane and Lotus and Carlo. Carlo said, sup, Ryan. Cootie said, oh, the runs. How nice. I'm going to spare you the details. But like this thing right here, it's a bunch of cheese, pasta, and broccoli. And it smells the same going down as it does coming out. I like it. I like it a lot. I probably shouldn't, but I am hungry. Ryan said, nah, I cut the grass today, so I'm proper tired. Much as you got to cut, yeah, I bet you is tired. Lotus said, now hold on, you get to play with trains and you don't have to work 8 hours? So Lotus, let me just tell you, we are not allowed to leave in less than 5 hours. But if I work 30 minutes or 8 hours, I get paid for 8. That's why I like getting off at 12. So if I get off at 12 o'clock, that is 5 hours. I effectively am right at doubling my hourly rate. And I get down here around 1. I get down here at 1 and I put on a set of tires. That money goes toward the building payment. So, I mean, no, I don't have to work 8 hours and I get to play with trains all day. Sarah said my boyfriend just turned 20. Well, happy birthday to him. Maria is eating as well. Lilith 4 said, got to bounce, but y'all stay blessed from the dirt up. Thanks for coming in, Lilith 4. Wonderful saying. You have a good day, good night whenever you're watching it. And remember to keep it silly. Ryan said tonight is Sloppy Joe night. That sounds nice. I've not had a Sloppy Joe in a while. Lotus said, Ryan, is that pond mode? Jay said, I've been following Stime's Goat Raiders family across America. Last night, their live was titled Super Kraut and Putt Putt Golf. They tooted their way through the course. Cool. Jay said, Ryan, how you feeling? Tired. Richard said, eat and be happy. Exactly. Ryan said, no, I got to fire up the tractor for that. It takes 3 vehicles to jump into life. Oh, damn. Goody said, love knowing you have broccoli smelling poo-poo. Lotus said, did you say off at 12? Yes. Jane said, I wish I lived closer. You can change that. Lotus said, OMG, I'm going to the railroad. I'm doing it wrong, carrying windows. Now, Lotus, I will tell you, at the big railroad, I wasn't allowed to leave before 8 hours. That wasn't a problem because basically we worked 12 every day. But the good news was after 8 hours, we got overtime. Ryan said he's feeling okay, Jane. Pretty well stable. Just trying to do what I can. I'm glad you're stable. Like the thing a horse sleeps in. And you're doing good, buddy. You got this. Sarah said, I'm 32. We've been together for 5 years. Everybody say it with me. Pedo. Cootie said, the numbers ain't adding up, Sarah. Oh, no, they add up. Straight to jail. Jane said, wish I lived closer, Ryan. Damn phone. Lotus said it takes 3 VWs, probably only 1 Chevy. I'll tell you, Chevrolet with an alternator, a good functioning alternator is a hell of a thing. Ryan said, I actually put the Ram, the van, and the Jetta on it. Damn. Madison said, hey, Ryan. Ryan said, it's okay, Jane. It's just a big-ass yard. It is. Lotus said, how bad is it you let your friends tag the trains? All I can say is if I'm not seeing it, you didn't do it. I'm not saying I'll let you. But if I catch them doing it, I want them to come up here and paint the building for me. They do some beautiful artwork. Jane said, LOL, Sarah, sounds like she could have at one point been in legal trouble. Sounds like if she was 27 and they were 15, sounds like she should be. Ryan said, hey, Madison. Jane said, I love to mow. Carla said, you see the benefit of kicking a habit if you save lots of money and can buy yourself nice things. I quit smoking. Congratulations, Carla. It is amazing on how much you don't realize you're spending on stuff like that. Sarah said, you're not going to say that. I met him babysitting his mom. It is his aunt, or is my aunt. You see, Sarah, I don't know who you are, what you do, or what you do in your free time. But one thing you're not going to do is come into my life and tell me what I'm not going to say. Because I'd be damned if I'm going to be lectured by a pedophile. Jay said, I think they should allow trains to be tagged. And she thinks it helps some of the cars look better. Oh, I agree. Now, what I really think is if the railroad took care of their equipment, washed the stuff, kept the stuff clean, don't tag them. But considering the railroad doesn't keep anything it owns clean, the hell with it, tag them. It looks a lot better than just a plain train. Lotus and my buddy does it in the city of Dayton. Actually hired him to do a big spray paint mural downtown. That's awesome. Like, I'll tell you right now, they have some beautiful imaginations, and they are very artistic. It's awesome. Let's see here. Jane said, awesome, Carlo. You don't want to end up like Papa Renzo. Nickel Pony said, y'all have a great night. Going to dinner with the wife, wants to try out the axe throwing. If y'all don't hear from me in a while, it was standing too close with... Nickel Pony, you stay safe. Put on that helmet, buddy. Have a good night. Carlo said, thank you, Jane. And True.
What?
Sarah said I was talking to Cootie. Well, let me give you rule number 2. You can say shit to me. You don't say shit to our viewers. Jane said some of the train cars are so rusty. Oh, I agree. There's a tank car. It's a flammable, hazardous car. It's spotted in Thomasville right now. I got on it and I got off. My gloves are black on the back and black grippy on the front. I got off and the entire palms of my hands were brown from rust. Alexis said 18 and high and 28. Hello again, Alexis. Leslie Loda said he is the tattoo artist. That's pretty damn awesome. James said, Sarah, that's just not right. I'm going to do the right thing. And I'm not going to read her comments because, again, reasons. Brick Boy said, I looked up. Okay. Hey, if you want to sub up, you sub up. But if that's what you looked up, YouTube gave you the wrong person. Jay said, Brick, we don't see color. Doesn't matter if we see it or not. We welcome everybody here. Cootie said, Sarah, there's things you should mention and there's things you should not mention. I agree with that because I have just a few rules. Leave kids out of it. I mean, you're probably one of those people that want to be called an abbreviation instead of a pedo. Alexis said 14 and high. Hello again, Alexis. Let's hear. Sarah created their account 2 months ago. Never been in the channel before and has no subscribers. So yeah, everybody, I think we have ourselves a booby-sucking troll and a basement dweller. So everybody, let's all ignore them together. Lex said 29 in the car. I tell y'all what, I was about this close to getting my car out today. Especially considering now I have 4 16s that I put on and the old ones are sitting down there. She told me, look, you got some, you could sell them as used tires. I said, you know, you're absolutely right. The only thing I don't like is they're dry rotted. The tread's pretty nice, but the tires are pretty dry rotted. I said, so I'm probably going to throw them on some of my burnout wheels and go from there. Let's see. Ryan said, I want to get a new tattoo. I want to circle each of my surgery scars, draw a line to a central circle that has cancer in cursive in the middle. Careful. I won't be able to read that then. But that would be pretty cool, Ryan. Lotus said, do it. I want to, Lotus. Sarah, I will run my stupid mouth as much as I want to. And if you don't like it, you can hippity hoppity fuck offy. This is my life. These are our people. If you don't like it, fuck off. Lex said 14 and 30. Hot diggity dog. Jay said LOL cursive. Yeah, where's Luigi at? Cursive. Let's see here. Lotus, did you pull the speed sensor yet? I have not, Lotus. My car has not moved. It's sitting over there beside the skid steer. And like I said, it has not moved basically since that last burnout I did. give a fuck, because I promise I don't. That makes me feel better. There you go, Lotus. I played the song. Ryan said, I'm scared, LOL. My leg hurts, though. I hate to hear that your leg hurts, and I understand the being scared. Let's see here. Cootie said, Lotus, I was just thinking that, LMAO. They say great minds think alike. Lex said 1431, and yes. Jay said, we need a cursive song. Well, what genre do you want it to sing in? Jay said, do a backflip. I can't do a backflip. Cootie said, jamming out so hard he's lagging. Although YouTube just can't handle that much awesomeness. I love that song. Let's see, hold on. Let me open a new tab here. Well, what do we want the song to say? I know how to do a lot of things, but I can't read that damn cursive. Scribbly letters. Death metal cursive song. Well, the hell with it. Y'all want to make it with me? What do you want your lyrics to be about? Alright. They keep changing stuff. Let's see here. Jane said, my daughter-in-law had her colostomy reversed, and she's going to have a scar on her belly. I said she should do a tattoo that looks like a shark bite. That would be cool. I'm glad to hear that that's getting reversed. Hopefully things are going well for her. Cootie said, oh gosh, here we go. Lotus said, that would be cool. Ryan said, hello, that would be amusing, Jane. Jane said, oh man, great minds at work. Yep, let's see here. Enter. Prompt. Copy. Okay. Let's see, what did you say? Death metal? It's generating. Jane said she's healing well. I am so glad to hear that. Ryan said that's good to hear, Jane. Alexa said hi, 11 and 31. Lotus is laughing. Let's see here. Okay, for whatever reason, it's not doing it. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Alexa said 31 and 10. Come on. Lotus is hearing thunder. I don't know if I like this. Okay, that's loud. Sarah, yeah, everybody deserves to team up on you. I mean, if you 30-some years old and your boyfriend was 15 when you met, and you were 27, yeah, everybody does need to gang up on you, take you behind a building and beat your ass. Leave kids alone. Now, if you met when he was 20 and you're 32, that's different. Lotus said, wow, AI was rocking. Oh, AI is pretty damn good. Yeah, I tell you what, AI does pretty good at it. Ryan said, all right. Pedo Seal, go buy your boyfriend a birthday gift. Get him a nice 20-year-old for a night so he can get a break from your leather bag ass. Hey, we need like a Lysol that says Pedo be gone. But I wouldn't be spraying nothing. It'd be pow, pow, pow. Pedo be gone. You want to know how you keep them from reoffending? That's how. Alexis said hi, 13 and 31. Hello again, Alexis. Let's see here. Let's delete that and see what it sounds like whenever it's not death metal, because I can't understand nothing they're singing. 86 down here today. Ryan said need a pedo guard for kids. Be like Scotch Brite. Jay said LOL, geez, Ryan, if 32 years old is leather bag ass, then what the fuck am I? Oh wait, don't answer that. Lotus said you need one of those automatic hole punchers. Oh, absolutely. Wireless hole punchers, again, keeps them from reoffending. Because they always try to make an excuse. Alex said 14 and 31. Thank y'all very much for 30 likes. I know we're sitting at 31, but again, thank y'all very much. Used to, we'd get 50 likes on every stream, but here lately we've been struggling to get 30. But I feel like that's not just a lot of craziness, but I think things are right on the tipping point. We got to do some cooler things. Give us some time. I know y'all been patient with us, and we're going to do them. But I like these lives. Dad likes these lives, and it kind of gives us a second to take a breath and just do some reading and chat with everybody. So we're going to do it. Lotus said petrified, Jane. Mummified. Jane said LOL, right, Lotus. Lex said 13. American Maker said, are you making songs using Sono? Yes, I am. And 31 says Alexis. Yes, I am. This one is scribbly bullshit.
I can do a lot of things. I can cook, I can fix a hinge.
Okay, I'll put that on one of mine. Ryan's laughing at Lotus. Sarah said, run that mouth to me, you won't like it. Well, by all means, motherfucker, step up. I'll put your pedo ass in the back in a hole where you belong if you're a real pedo. Like I said, I'll just hide you. These people on here don't need to be talking to a pedophile. Jane said, I've heard other streamers complaining about how YouTube is pushing out content. Well, I'm telling you right now, YouTube is pushing certain things, but they're not pushing a lot. They're not pushing the smaller channels. They're pushing the hell out of the big channels. Lotus said, but can Sono rap? Hell, we'll try it. We'll see if we can give her some rap. Rap. In the same prompt about cursing. This is a rap, 94 BPM, shouted hook, gang vocals, distorted electric guitar, and it's generating. Madison said, I thought we were ignoring Sarah. Oh, my bad. Alexa said 12, 31, 15, 31. Jane said, LOL, Sarah is pushing buttons. Listen, my buttons get pushed very quickly with kids, okay? Kids are innocent, and they are very susceptible to adults. Cootie said, can you imagine being a grown 32-year-old woman, not being able to defend yourself and having to rely on your 20-year-old child boyfriend? Pathetic. Yeah, look, that 20-year-old might step up, but he'll get his ass beat just the same as the 30-year-old pedophile. Lotus said, these hands is equal opportunity. Absolutely. Carlos said, rap, D-I-L-L-I-G-A-F. I'll try that.
I can fix a screen, I can run all day, I can talk my way out the hard part. I can spot a line from across the room, but that looping line takes me apart. Teach me slow, take it line by line. I swear I'm trying, I just lose the sign. I can't recurse it, I can't recurse it. Let's you believe me, it's the best of me.
Let's see here. American Maker said Sono can rap. I use Sono for my lyrics. Sono can do really good. Lotus said, hey Maker, how big of an object can you make with your CNC? I need a mount for a nitro engine for a boat. Woohoo! Ryan said, Sarah is probably beat looking. She probably lowered him in with video games and pictures of prettier women on the walls. Probably. Lotus said, and what type of file does it use? I'm glad you asking him, because if you ask me, I don't even know what mine uses. You've told me, I just don't remember. Jay said, I was watching Ryan Hall, y'all, earlier. He's the weatherman. He has 3.3 million subs and was complaining about YouTube. It's bad whenever somebody with 3.3 million subscribers is complaining about YouTube. Like, we didn't do YouTube to try to quit our jobs and do it full time. But it is kind of discouraging whenever videos only get 15 views, 3 likes, and a live that we do for 2 hours or more only gets 200 views. I mean, especially whenever we were getting 50 to 60 views on everything, getting 50 to 100 likes, and we were getting a couple thousand views. I mean, it makes a big dang difference. And nothing's changed. We're doing the same thing we have been. We're making the same kind of content. If anything, our content's getting better. But one thing that's consistent is the inconsistency. Lotus is trying to build an outlaw hybrid tunnel hull, still, at STL. Ryan said Lotus needs to put 8 nitro motors on a kayak. That would be cool. American Maker said roughly 11.8 inch by 7.9 inch by 5.1 inch. Cool. Carlos said Sarah still uses pedophiles. Okay. Lexi said 1131 a car. American Maker said it uses step files, but it can also use STL or OBJ. Jack Russell said there is a lot of gayness in his room right now. Ryan said it's a circle jerk, Mr. Russell. And you're the cookie. We're playing Soggy Cookie. Cootie Queen says, because I'm here, Jack. I'm so gay it consumes the chat. Where's Amber? Jane said, Jack is coming out. Congrats, Jack. Congratulations, Jack. We're so proud of you. I don't know what would possess you to come into a random streamer's live and come out as gay, but I am so proud of you. Lotus said, gay. Carlos, because you are here, Jack. Tinker said, howdy, y'all. Hello, Tinker. How have you been, my friend? Ryan said, I was thinking he could be the pivot man. Jay said, hey, Tinker. Jack said, Jack is back to make an attack. Lotus said, Ryan likes the furry stuff. Yeah, Ryan likes the furry stuff. Tinker, every time I pass your road, I think about checking on you. Jay said, Jack, how you been? How is you? Ha! Man, I set our live and our comments where it does not hold anything. But YouTube itself has said that your shit that you comment is stupid enough that YouTube holds it for review. Lotus and Tinker, sup? Tinker said, ought to stop by and pick some peaches. They are ripe and good. Oh my gosh. You shouldn't tell me that. I love peaches, dude. Maria said, sorry y'all, I didn't chat much. I'm talking with my friend. It's okay, Maria. We understand. You had an emotional night last night. You're a person too. You have a life to live. Hypernova Steve said, Tiger uppercut. Man, if I get uppercut by Hypernova Steve, I'm done, y'all. I'm tapping out. Ryan said, hey, Maria, it's all good. Yep. Mary Mayer said, how big and what shape is the cover? Jane said, yum, Tinker, I wish I was down there. Hey, he's right up the road. I can just about throw a stone 3 times and hit him. He's also got a badass motor he's putting in that Nissan 240 he's got. And I looked up that transmission place again last night, or 2 days ago, Tinker. I am very seriously thinking about getting one. I'm tired of that blue truck sitting back there. Ryan said, all right, got to run for dinner. All right, Ryan, see you, buddy. Don't run too hard. Lotus said, tell your friend hi. Yes, tell her hi. Tell her I'm looking forward to the info she'll give me tonight. Hypernova Steve's laughing. Last time I got an uppercut, I blacked out. Then I woke up in a hospital bed. Maria said I already told her hi. Alright. Make sure you bring a box. The branches are bent down to the ground. Damn. I had to bring at least something. Ryan said, have a great night. Jane said, take care, Ryan. Jane said, ugh, Tinker, ship some up here. Maria said, what info? What y'all are talking about? I told you, the chicken, the cat, and your friends all giving me info. Like, for example, the black door. You think I just know these things? She gave me your address. I watch you on Google Maps. Alexa sent a bunch of police cars and said car. Maria said, hi, friend Lotus from YouTube. Say hi. Hello, my friend. Remember, I need that info. I need that report on my desk by noon. Maria, I already read that. My bad. Maria sent some happy faces. Happy, happy, happy. Happy, 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 happy. Gmail? What's Gmail want? Duke Energy. You're in. Get more from Power Hours. Pass. Maria said, stop saying things like this. Okay. Lotus said, it would be a amount. I did say hi, Maria, earlier. Jane said, like what, Maria? Maria said, okay, hi, Lotus. Tinker said, I got 4 trees, have peaches every year from June through mid-July. I can only eat 2 a day. I would eat way more if I could. I'll tell you, man, I always like a fresh peach. That means that, like Chick-fil-A, I love their peach milkshakes. Peaches are my jam. It's almost like I like peaches. 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 I feel like Bowser. Peaches, peaches, peaches. Carlos said, hello, Maria. Maria said, like what? Like what? Maria said, y'all the only people online I share that much information about my life, and yet I didn't share that much. Well, look, that's okay. We don't know your real name. I don't know your address. I just guessed on the color of your door. But it's okay. It's a smart thing to not give out personal information on the internet. Cootie said, I got work at 6 in the dang morning. I'm so sad. But at least I only work 2 days. Then I'm off another 2 days. Woo! Hey, that's okay. I hate that whole going into work at 6 in the morning. But working 2 and being off 2 is okay. Maria said, I like to stay mysterious. I understand that. It's okay. Jay said, I would slice and freeze some and make peach jam. Peach jam is so good on ice cream. You making me hungry. I might have to go get some ice cream. Alexa said 10, 11, and 32. Cootie said, I'm still nervous about the hitman being sent my way. It went out in the mail this morning. I'm contacting him by mail. Lotus said, it would be a mount of flat plate with hole in the middle, 50 millimeter by 50 millimeter, then 2 arms going up 90 millimeters. Jane said, what hitman, Cootie? Well, this random person emailed me with an address and said, please don't send a hitman, so I got to send a hitman. Carlos said, Maria, you're a little shit. Uh-oh. Lotus said, but I will make it with Tinkercad and send you the file if we do it. There you go. Lex said 13 and 32. Cootie said, I'll try to give him some gumbo to convince him not to kill me. Sounds like a plan to me. American Maker said, okay, sounds good, Lotus. Lex said, car. Maria said, what? Rumple said, hello, Randy Jr. Hello, Rumple. How are you doing this evening? Tinker said, peach ice cream is even better than the jam out the ice cream. I ain't got around to putting up the fencing to have cows yet. I know a man who can make you some tube of 6s for your paneling. Lotus said, I want to 3D print it first to make sure it fits. That's a good idea. Lex said, dog. Maria said, what did Carlos said? Yeah, I'm not sure why Carlos said that. America said, I recently found an engine online that once I get the materials, I plan to try making it. That would be cool. Rumple said, Jane, hello. Jane said, hey, Rumple. Rumple said, Lotus, hello. America said, I just got to get some special steel bits to mill the can and crankshafts. God dang, I'm allergic to all this reading. American Maker, that'd be cool as hell, dude. Lotus said, oh, that's cool, Maker. Wolf said, my wife just blamed me for something she did. Welcome to being married. We support you here. This is your support group. every day, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. You're welcome anytime. My wife blamed me for something I did in her dream. Rumpel said, Cootie, hello. Alexa said, no. Maria said, then who said that? No, Carlos said it. I'm not sure why he said that. But he said it. Alexa said, Car, yes, 14 and 33. Cootie said, y'all ever heard of Brahmins? I'm missing. And hello, Rumpel. I have not heard of that, Cootie. Alexa said, yes. Jane said, bless you. Thank you, Jane. Alexa said, 1433. Lotus said, sup, Rump. Cootie said, someone should screenshot his sneeze face and make it an emoji. If somebody screenshots it and wants me to make it into a members emoji, let me know. You send it to me, I'll make it one. Maria said, Wolf, your wife should apologize to you. Rumpel said, if you don't hear from me, blame Sleep Fairy. Alright, Rumpel. I will try to soothe you. Wolf said, I definitely need some whiskey. I can understand that one. Lotus said, what did Carlo say? Carlo called Maria a little shit. Jane said, Maker, you use old cams and then mill them. Tinker said, I did get the new engine in the 240 to start up, but I have a few electrical gremlins to work out. I'm glad to hear it started. Electrical gremlins are a pain. Carlos said, when seniors say hello to you, Maria, you show some respect and courtesy and say hello back. I'm pretty sure y'all said hello to each other. Maria said, and that was my question. What did Carlo said? I didn't hear that. Lex said yes. Rumpel said, Carlo, hello. Lex said yes. American said no. It's a mini engine for nitro race cars. Runs using glow plugs and special fuel. That's pretty damn cool. Carlos said, sup, Rumpel. Alex said 16 and 34. Lotus said, and then promptly make you a sandwich, Wolf. I mean, that would be the best apology. I'm not saying she's wrong. But I mean, if she got mad at you for something she did, she might not be right. Maria said, seriously? That's what he said. You can scroll up and see it. Jane said, oh, RC cars. Okay, Maker. American Maker said, I don't have the right bits for steel, but I do have bits for aluminum, brass, and copper. That's pretty awesome. Lotus said, I have 20 or nitro engines, Maker. That's pretty damn cool. Wolf said, if my wife keeps it up, I'm going to start having fun with her mother and sister because they have been trying to get in my pants for a while. Woohoo! Somebody is working on an ass whooping. Man, you do you, boo-boo, as long as they're over the age of 18. Maria said, y'all know if I didn't say hi, that doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. I might didn't notice that. Oh, I know. Lotus said, too far. Rumpel said, I only got Hot Wheels, 2. That's okay. Tinkers, I missed something. Somebody's trying to 3D print an engine. American Maker, he has a CNC machine, it sounds like, and he's going to make an engine once he gets bits for his steel. Lotus RC is wanting a part made to hold one of his RC motors. And Lotus is going to print like the holder that he wants made to make sure it'll work. American Maker said, nice, Lotus. I wanted to try to make one and seeing if I could make parts for them. It would definitely give me a leg up and an income because my uncle was big into it and was telling me folks are always looking for parts. Oh, absolutely. You got an opportunity to do that. I highly suggest it. Tinker was showing me some parts that he makes with all of his stuff and how he uses aluminum to make it. Second to none. And there is always somebody looking for parts. Lotus said, dial it back 20%, bud. Jane said, Sarah and Wolf belong with each other, apparently. Wolf said, I'm feeling dangerous. Well, buddy, report back tomorrow on how it's going. Cootie said, what is going on? I missed something? I think some people might be having a bad day. Lotus said, I can tell you now, if you can make good tracks, 3.3 pistons, rods, they will sell. Hey, I believe in you, Maria. So now if I have any kind of respect, I already lost it. That wasn't funny. It's rude to call someone that. Oh, I agree. That was pretty uncalled for. American Maker said, if I can get blueprints or even step files, I can definitely machine them. That's awesome. Rumpel said, why don't they 3D print a 3D printing machine? Ah, it's like plugging an electrical surge protector into itself. Unlimited energy. Tinker said, cool, I've been waiting to get a manual mill so I can machine my aluminum castings easier. Cool. American said, I have a 4th axis I can use to make those. That's pretty damn awesome. Y'all doing a lot of cool shit. Rumpel said, Rumpel cracking PJs even while sleeping. That's dedication. Wolf said, I definitely will be because a mom and sister. Okay. I am not reading inappropriate stuff like that, but you do you, boo-boo. Tinker said they do 3D print, 3D printer parts, and that's how the original open source ones were made. If y'all did not know, Tinker's basically a neighbor to us and very, very intelligent man. Very intelligent. Carlo, buddy, I hate to say it, but I'm going to need you to chill it out just a little bit. We don't need to be talking about stuff like that. We don't need you upset at each other. I'm just going to need you to kind of chill out just a little bit. America said most 3D printed parts end up failing over time if it's a heavily used part. Tinker said you wouldn't know it by the way I talk or look. Well, I promise people don't think I'm intelligent. I'm not saying they're wrong, but they wouldn't think I'm intelligent. But, man, you start talking about doing all this stuff and I can, like, understand what you're saying. But once you start talking about doing it, oh, you've lost me. There's so much cool shit that y'all do over there. It is awesome. American said layer lines tend to fail if it's structural. Carlo's laughing and says, sorry. Buddy, I generally am okay with talking a little silly and goofy. But we need to understand that some people might not be okay with certain things. So I know we've talked about stuff before, and I appreciate you for understanding, but there is some things that we need to try not to do. We don't need to quarrel. Rumpel said I'm pretty intelligent too, just that I utilize it for nefarious activities. Don't blame me. Look in that direction. I would never blame you, Rumpel. I totally wouldn't do nefarious activities if I was intelligent. Lotus said I have 3D printed parts on my 3D printer, 100% infill PLA plus. They tend to stick. Cool. I would love to do the 17-inch Corvette aluminum wheels that we have. I would like to 3D print the large, like, what's it called? Like the lug nut covers. And I would like to 3D print it, and instead of it being like the Corvette emblem, be like the NDP stuff. Especially if I go get a Corvette. Tinker said I use ABS for 3D printing, brush over the outside with acetone, and it solves the layer separation problem. Cool. See again, intelligent MFers up in this mug. Would you look at that? Dad just pulled in. We got 15 people in here, 34 thumbs up, hot diggity dog. Rumpel said they be 3D printing houses in Africa now. Saw it somewhere, affordable housing. Have you seen it when they do it with concrete? Like that, it's literally, it just traces around with the concrete. Apparently it does surprisingly well. Job said, hey, I know you. They called you Little Dicky in high school. Yeah, I know you. They called you Suck on It. We went to different high schools together. Lotus said, I need to build an enclosure for mine. I need to learn how to use mine. Tinker said, Randy could always 3D print a plug for the hub covers and cast them out of aluminum. Hey, that would be awesome. Lotus, I've seen that. It looks cool. I do have the micrometer, and it's a digital one, so I could measure it, like the circular motion out, and figure out how to use Tinkercad. And I would love to 3D print it, and then eventually, like you just said, give you the measurements. And if you could 3D 3D print it, but do the casting for it, that would be awesome. American said most of my prints have held up with 100% infill, but I have a couple fail. One PLA, one warped from heat exposure. And said my 3-year-old F-bomb broke finally. Wow. See, I know what like 7 out of those 10 words mean, and the other 3 I just haha. Rumpel said, yeah, the concrete ones, walls like those wasp mud nest. Yes, but don't tell me it doesn't work. Again, I think housing should be a little more affordable than it is. Even though, you know, they're using the cheapest materials they can get, at least over here. I don't know about the rest of the world. They're using the cheapest materials and trying to sell them for the premium price. Lotus, I 3D printed some stuff for my pool. It's been out there a month, no problems. It was 94 Fahrenheit, most of last week. Huh. That's freaking awesome. American said that's pretty good. Agreed. Looks like if I 3D printed a part to go on the wheels while I do burnouts, it's going to have to hold up to that heat. Lotus said, hello, my skimmer is held up by PLA+. American's got ABS, but no enclosure. I disabled my ABS. Oh, different ABS, excuse me. I'm thinking about automatic braking systems. Let's see, Rumpel said they have started precision metal 3D printing too for planes, race cars, and stuff. That's pretty damn cool. Like that's cool. I mean, if you can have parts that can handle up to like liquid metal coming out to 3D print it, that'd be freaking awesome. Carlos said anti-brake skid. Anti-brake skid. American said it prints so beautifully, virtually 0 layer lines. That's even more better. Lotus said I can print carbon fiber if I do the enclosure. No kidding. That is awesome. Rumpel said, what material do regular 3D printer use? Some special grade plastic like Kardashian? Yeah, like Kardashian plastic. Every time I use it, I break the internet. Let's see. Tinker recommended I use this kind of plastic. You see how much I've used it, Tinker. It's Ender PLA Value Pack. Black, diameters 1.75 plus or minus, 0.03 millimeter. 1,000 grams, nozzle temp 190 to 220 Celsius, bed temperature 25 to 60 Celsius, printing speed, and batch number. But he said this right here should do better for what I'm trying to do, if I ever get back to using it. Let's see here. Tinker said, you know you can 3D print TPU onto a sheet and iron it onto things like t-shirts. I did not know that. That's pretty damn cool. Lotus said PLA, mostly rump. And American said most metal 3D printers are just MIG wire feeders on a setup that triggers through a separate board. Really? Huh. Lotus said same stuff water bottles are made of. Cool. American said did not know that about TPU. I did not either. Like I said, 12 and 34, and then 757, like, you know, the motors on the bad boy motors. Rumpel said Lotus. Ah, cool. I agree. That's pretty damn cool. Rumpel said Alexis 13. Cootie said Alexis 69. Lol. I went live a little early, as in I went live at like 6:39. because like I scheduled it for 7, and before I even clicked live, there was already 10 likes, so I went ahead and went live. So I mean, we've come a long way. We have 34 likes, but it seems like people might be getting a little tired.
They always leave one.
Yeah, but be careful. There was a pedo in chat. Everybody ganged up on her, and she wants to talk shit, so I just ignore her. You'll know which one. American said most water bottles are PETG plastic. I thought. I just thought they were plastic. Jane said Rumpel loves messing with Alexis. Yes, he does. Rumpel said Alexis, that's cheating. Rumpel said hello, Pops, and is laughing at Jane.
Hello.
Jane said, hey, Pops.
Hey, Jane.
Oh, Tinker's in here.
Hey, Tinker.
I told him, I said something. He said, come by and pick some peaches if you want some. He said, bring a box because the branches are draping down to the ground. I said, careful, I like peaches. Let's see here. Jay said, hey, Pops. Maria said, I asked for a taxi today by an app, and the car that showed up was modern BMW. It was only for $2. Huh. That's pretty cool. Jane said, have a great night, R3. Thank you, Jane. Lotus said, you're right, pet. Carlo also said, hello, Pops. I'm sorry, I missed
Hello,
that.
Carlo and Papa Renzo.
I apologize for missing that, Carlo. Tinker said, it's I just like ABS myself. You do need an enclosure, but it's strong, easy to finish, and lets you do some creative things like electroplating over the 3D print. That's pretty damn cool. Jane says, Tinker has peaches. Yes. Lex said 15, 15, 34. Yes, 11 and 34. Carlos said, hello, Pops.
Hello, Carlo and Papa Renzo.
Let's see, Rumpel said, you know how many new knitted shoes are made with recycled plastic bottles? Many recovered from oceans. I got one. It's lightweight, too. That's pretty odd. Jay said, Daryl got Mercedes convertible. It was in a hurricane. Smells fishy, just in case you'd like it, Maria. Well, would you like one of these chicken biscuits? Okay, good. I'll take them tomorrow for food. In my defense, you left me unsupervised. Some good lemonade.
That was lemonade I bought at school.
Whatever it was, it's pretty good.
I bought it at school.
I ain't drank with that amount.
I mean, it don't matter. I forgot I had it because I just put lemonade in this.
Let's see here.
And I got mine. ICGW.
Let's see here. Let's see, Alexa said 10:34. Maria said, nah, thanks. Rumpel said, sorry, my topics are drifting. I'm groggy with sleep. It's all good. And then said 11. Tinker said, I think soda bottles are polycarbonate. Milk jugs are PETG. Rumpel said 7. 59. Gotcha. Jay said, Rumpel, I'm sleepy tonight. It's raining. That always puts me to sleep. I understand that. Maria said, Rumpel, don't take Alexis's job. It's Randy's favorite bot. She's not a bot. She comments on videos. And she threatened Rumpel with nuclear bombs. Alexis, get the nukes. Alexis said 11 and 35. Maria said she is not. See, I'm glad you finally come around, Maria. On that note, I have made her mad. Maria's friend is there. And she said she apologized for not talking so much, but she's hanging out with a friend. I said, all right, tell your friend that she is the report for the intelligence of you. I need on my desk by 12. She said, I need to stop making comments like that because it freaks her out. Oh, and don't forget to unplug the big airflow. Okay. Don't forget to lock up the paper. Okay.
Can you
Don't
please
forget to make
take
the video.
some of it? Don't you even start.
What?
If that's the case, we're stopping. You're going to finish it before you go.
Wow!
You're not doing this to me every single night.
Oh, Cootie also gave $9.99, so she was number 1.
Let's see.
Video is exported. All you gotta do is upload it. If you want to skip steer.
Oh, let's see. Alexis, she is. All right, Carlos said, what the hell? I'm going to skip that word. Pauperism. What? What's that word?
No idea.
Okay. I'm going to start with Rumple then. Rumple said, Jane, oh, rain noise makes me sleepy too. Favorite white noise?
Love you.
Love you, buddy. Be careful. Jane said, does she comment dog? No, she commented on a couple videos. I forget what she put. Lotus said Skynet, and Jane said cat. Maria said, oh my God, she's a terrorist bot. She throws bombs. Rumbles and Maria laughing a thumbs up. Jane said 11 and 15. Cootie said, apologies, would have taken more, but I was running around chasing a 4-year-old, threatening to get his took us back now. Volt retracted the message. Rumple said, took us. What that? I'm learning new stuff here. Tinker said, Lotus. Alexis isn't Skynet. Clarify, made Skynet, not Amazon. I should know. Cutie said, took us is booty. Alexis said, thumbs up, about 150 of them. Jane said, Carlos, stop, you're being inappropriate. Alexis said, yes, 12, 14, 35. Jane said, Pops, don't forget Daryl. Carlos said, and tell the trolls aren't Jane. Boggy said, yo, hello, Boggy. And thank you, Jane, for reminding me. I get wound up and I will forget all about it. There we go. We do it there and say, all right, let's get back over here. Where's mine? There we go. Alexis got rain and clouds, and Ruffle said, oh, learning new word. Lotus said, what, Piedmont, upon meat weed? Buggy said, what up, low? Lotus said, what up, pond weed? Jane said, hi, Buggy. Alexis got boxing gloves, firecracker, and ping pong. All right, what a combination. Lotus said, another day. And Alexis got balloon gum. Jane said, trolls haven't been here for a while, Carlo. Alexis said, yes. Lotus said, put in a 10-foot window today. All right. Alexis said, Alexis Hubert. Boggy said, yo, Jane, how you been? How you doing, Ma? Carlos, what's up, Boggy? Alexis has got that more of that balloon gum. Maria says, Alexis said balloon gum. No, she's putting up balloon. I figured if I said balloon gum, it would get your attention. Jane said, doing good. You okay, Boggy? Alexis said, 12. Rumble said, I could fit in as a stand-in troll. I gotta brush up on skills sometimes. Ha ha. Maria said, maybe she's indeed a real human. She is. She knows what she's doing. Boggy says, yo, Carlo. Alexis said, 35. Alexis got that balloon gum again. Maria said, oh, never mind. She's a bot. Now, Maria. Boggy says, I'm never okay, but I'll get by. Rumble says, so, Alexis, what's your name? Alexis said, YouTube play button. I hadn't gotten to ask everybody. How's everybody doing today? Tinker said, well, I guess she's trying to get to 99 red balloons, or is it balloons? I believe it is balloons. That's what it looks like. I'm waiting for a clown to show up. Marissa Alexis, do you have any social media accounts? Jane said balloons. Baboons. Did I say one of them wrong way up here? Oh, Tinker did. Maria said, I'm fine. I had a great day with my friends today. Well, awesome. Then Lexa said, no, she does not have any social media accounts. How many friends you hang out with today, Maria? Rumble said, see, Alexis is who, man? We got 13 people, 36 thumbs up. Oh, Lord, now that Randy's gone, everybody going to take off and leave. Mr. 90 said, hello, Stone Cody. It is hump day. I have Bookie off all days. Off work for annual leave. All right. It's always good day off. Lotus said Vivo and Burnout. I want you to know, I went out there and put the key. Last time I tried to crank Vivo, it was hard to start. And I was asking Pug what I needed to do, and he was telling me to change fuel filter and a couple other parts. And I went out there, and when I finally found the key, I stuck the key in it, and it didn't even hardly turn to start, and hardly turn over. And that thing fired right up. So, I don't know. I let it run for about an hour there. Jane said, hi, I'm Mr. 90. Carlos said, hey, Maria, I apologize, darling. Sorry. Maria said, we went out, me and my best friend. Her dad joined us later. We played with VR games, horror games. It was scary. I want to do some of them VR games, but every time I put the VR, that's actually my VR system back there, and but every time I get on it, it makes me kind of seasick. So I want to get with it and do some of the where you walk the plank and stuff like that. I really want to try it, but I might have to take a little medicine before I do it so I don't get seasick. Mr. Knight says I will go back to work next Monday on Stone Cody. Awesome. I get through tomorrow though, and I'll have me a couple of days off because I won't have the truck, so I ain't got to worry about being called in. Letter says Vivo abuse. Yeah. Jane said there was only 11 people in here when Randy was here, and chat was slowing down. Oh, really? I know yesterday, right after, it got down to 4 people, and only 1 or 2 was talking. And I was so tired, that's the reason I went ahead and ended it, made the video and cooked me something to eat, went to bed. Carlos got a bunch of pictures out there, all right. Lexi said no. Lotus said probably needs a battery tender as much as it sits. Well, it wasn't battery, it was starting. It just wasn't firing up. I mean, but you're right, it probably does need a tender on it for the batteries. But it had good battery turn. It just it would crank, but it wouldn't fire. You know, it took a long time for it to do it. Tinker said evaluation. I know the word. I got it. I'll read it next time. Must be going backwards now in the modern era. We are reverting back to emojis like they were. I ain't about to now try to do that one. Hero Glasser, yeah, that one. Alexis 1636, Maria said yes. I encourage you. It's really fun. Rumble said Tinker, interesting observation. Mr. Knight says I have been eating a lot of spinach and potato tonight. Spinach, sorry. American Mega, sorry I've been quiet. Had a call come in. We understand. Don't worry about it. I appreciate you being here. Lotus said, yeah, we're all still here. Maria said I was only one left. Yeah. Alexa, no. Alexa, look at her. She got the balloon gun, the soccer ball, the basketball, the baseball. Nope, that's a softball, a yellow softball or baseball, a white baseball, a soccer ball, several of them, gold coins, silver coins. Look, I mean not coins, medals. Look at there. Maria said, Carlo, it's okay, just don't do it again. Jane said, I was there, Maria. Lol, I said something and bam, no outgoing music. Lotus said, lost prime diesel life. Yeah, I figured that's what it was, something like that, but Pug told us to put a fuel filter on it and some banjo bolts. Is that right? Got a little hole in them. We was going to order some. I'm putting the order together for the boat and the truck, and we're going to, I might have to use the truck in the next couple of days, about a week, so I need to do a couple things to it before I use it. Alexa got that balloons again. Rumpel said, you need to take it to the apprentice to get fired, Pops. Alexa's car. Rumpel said, hello, or men. Lotus said, yo. Maria said, we also tried Mexican food, tacos with special sauce. Randy told me about that. He said you really enjoyed it. Rumpel said, or Damon. Mr. Knight says, I've been bitten by a bumblebee on my nipply today in the garden, Stone Cody. Oh, I know that was tender. Lotus said, tacos can't hurt. I'd like to have some tacos right now. American Maker said, I've never ordered anything with special sauce. Nah, the word special sauce bothers me. American Maker says, I've seen too many films where they're using their own special sauce. Exactly. Maria said, yep, it was so yummy. 1637. Rumble said, that Trump TV show, Apprentice, where he says, you are fired. My joke flopped again like a tuna out of water. It don't help me not knowing what some of these words are, but when you said that TV show, I knew what that was, apprenticeship. Lotus said, I already ate dinner, but now I want a Taco Bell. I want Taco Bell. I wouldn't mind it, I'll tell you that. Amber says, Pops, hello. Hello, Amber. Sarah says, you old fuck shit. Hey, Sarah, how you doing? Mr. Naughty said, yes, I could not run any on treadmill today because my nipples was rubbing on my t-shirt. Oh, man, if you're going to run on treadmill, you should have took that shirt off. Brenda said, what's wrong with special sauce that was on the menu? He just made a joke about a lot of people has been caught putting their special sauce in the mayonnaise and stuff. Just making a joke. Tinker says, I eat tacos every day. It starts with a T. That starts with a T? All right. Lotus said, somebody block dumbass Sarah. Lotus said, please. Let's see. Lotus said, Sarah is the pedo Randy spoke of. I kind of figured when I read it. Jane said, Carlo. Amber said, what? Ooh, yeah. Rumble said, Maria said, ooh, I'm sorry. Rumble said, I can't. YouTube doesn't give me click rights like that. I've been naughty on my past life. Mr. Naughty said, it's a good idea, Stone Cody. I would run without my t-shirt tomorrow. Yeah, let it all hang out. Erwin says, howdy. Howdy, Erwin. How you doing, buddy? Sarah Steele was just joined April 2nd, 2026. Really don't have much going on, so they must be just got it just to start shit. Maria said, so howdy is for Southern people. Yep, howdy. Mr. 90 said, but I am embarrassed for if someone see my one big nippy because of Bumblebee Buddy. Hey, if they look at that one, that means they're checking you out. Don't worry about it. Cootie said, Sarah secretly WWE. Laughed my ass off. Just kidding. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Maria says, howdy, with her cowboy hats on. Oh. Getting closer and closer out there with it, getting those stumps. Every time I get one stump out, I find another one. I got a day before yesterday, I believe it might have been yesterday. I got a big one out. The skid steer won't even pick it up. All I can do is roll it. And then one I got today, the skid steer pick it up, but it's pretty big too. Then I got one more bigger than the first one. I'm trying to dig around it now. I'll be glad to get that one out because that's the one where the curve turn's going to be. And that will be where, once I get that one, and there's two small ones, I get those, then I can start on to smoothing it out. 6.2 Big says, morning all, just got up. Hello, Big. Alexa says 37, 16, 37. Tinker says, howdy is Southern hello, right next to the universe phrase, why, bless my heart. Rumble says, how many hours do you sleep, Pops? I usually get to sleep somewhere around 11. And excuse me. I usually get to sleep somewhere around 11, 11:30, and then I get up at then I get up around 5:25, something like that. I was getting up at 4:50, but I changed it to 5:25. In the wintertime, when I got the hot water heater, I get up a little bit earlier. But when I got to unhook the water. But I don't have to now. Damn. Shit. Let's see. Maria said, wait a minute. Alexa says 1637. Cootie said, you don't have an issue with me, Maria, but maybe it's because I have an H at the end, Sarah. Haha. Mr. 90 said, these stupid bumblebees flew into my shirt. I got scary, so it started biting me on my nipple. Maria said he sleeps 4 during the night and 5 for naps during the day. Erwin said, I'm not Southern. I just say howdy because of my affiliate with Woody from Toy Story. Rumble said, Maria, haha. James, bless you. Thank you, James. Lotus said, I need a nap. That's how I recharge my batteries. Maria said, Lord Cootie, no, I don't have problems with you. James said, hi, Erwin. Maria said, oh my God, your allergies to reading comments? No, I got all that dirt where I just been out there in that dirt and I need to blow my nose. Erwin said, hey, Jane. Maria said, just like Randy, he was sneezing like that. Boston Bill said, hi, Pops. Hello, Boston Bill. Mr. 90 says, Stone Coldie, you have got hay fever today. No, I got that dust up my nose. I need to blow it. Jane said R3 was sneezing a lot too. Well, he'd been cleaning out the paint room and it got dusty in there. Alexa said 17 and 38. Boston Bill said, hi, Jane and Lotus. Alexa's got the balloons out again. Jane said, hi, Bill. Maria said, the new COVID will start from their office. I'll be damned. We ain't done that COVID bullshit. Lotus said, hey, Boston. Alexa said, yes, with a bunch more balloons. Lotus said, we don't need a new COVID. Maria said, I know. American Maker said, wouldn't mind a Mira zombie virus for a short time. Minor, not Mira. Minor. No. Alexa said, balloons, and yes. Lotus said, I do miss driving with no one else on the road, and $2 gas was nice. Yeah, I keep hearing that gas is plummeting. I ain't seen it go down very fast. Maria said, if you can go now and live in Florida, would you do it? It would have to be the circumstances. I'm not really going to leave the building. I'm not going to leave my kids. But I would like to go to Florida and live. Lotus said, yes, Maria, 100%. Alexis, 1338. Maria said, my friend finished her exam today. She do good, or does she know yet? Lotus said, BRB, gotta go pee. All right, Lotus, you be careful and shake that thing. Lotus said, 3.83 today here. Tinker said, Florida ain't bad, but not during hurricane season. I know, right? Maria said, the kitties are awake because you're sneezing. The kitties are awake because of my sneezing. I'll be damned. Lotus said, stop calling Carlo Lotus. Did I do it again? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to degrade you there, Carlo. Maria said she's good. She's the smartest girl in her exams. Awesome. Jane said, I would not live in Florida. It's so hot from April to October. You can't breathe. It can't be outside, and lots of bugs. Maria said, in her class. Oh, okay. Maria said, her class is only 6 students. Cootie said, smart ass. American Mayor said, right now there is some cheap land in Interlaken, Florida, right near a lake. Only drawback is there is nothing developed out there. That sounds like me. I like nothing developed. Maria said, in my class there's 68 students. Rumble said, isn't Florida kind of notorious for retirement homes? I see it on TV because of warm weather. Could be rumors though. No, a lot of people retire and go to Florida. On the Hutchins side of my family, most of them had Florida homes, and that's where they would go for wintertime. Rumble said, plus they got pythons and gators. Yeah, I don't like that. Jane said, Rumble, there's a lot of old people down there. Maria said, cool. Erwin said, Florida is God's waiting room. Hey, lady, you go to Florida down there, and I know there's places on earth that's a lot hotter. And if I was in another country, I would probably die from all of the heat. But some of these places are just the Lord putting you there to make sure you don't want to go to hell. Cootie said, my mood is finally stabilizing, feeling somewhat normal again, but it took me like 6 or 7 tequila shots. I have 2 darn tooting periods a month, and this one is messing me up so bad. There's old people in Florida. Yeah, a lot of retirees go to Florida. James said, all right, Erwin. Lotus said, I hope you have bathroom emergency with no bathroom, old man. Damn, Lotus, that hurts my feelings. Tinker said, during the winter, I am all for global warming. During the summer, I'd be happy if an ice age. Just ain't never happy with the weather. Maria said, yes, you'd die from the heat. Just because she seen me sweating, she thinks I would die from the heat if I was in. Nobody can handle her heat. Oh, Lord. Rubble said, Jane, I can move there, feel young again. American Baby said, I say you were wrong because I live in Florida, but yeah, most are old here. Boss the Bill said, Lotus, laughing. It took him a minute or me just a long time to catch up and read it. Yeah. I about forgot what I said. 12 people in here, 38 thumbs up. Oh, Lordy. Lotus said, Randy, story time. What kind of stories I can tell y'all? Rumble says, seems like they've been lying to us for all along. Early 60s, they said it's going to be ice age again if they don't stop. Later, they softened to global warming. It seems every scientist ain't sure. They don't know what the hell's going to happen. They just play it to their narrative. Carlos said, Lotus, stay tuned for a video of the SH Engines 12 powered Vaughn R driving brake in tank in my driveway. The story where you were sweating in that video. Oh, and the video putting in here inside the building that was hot, and I was working and I was sweating. Oh my gosh. I was putting air conditioner in and it was sweating. And that's what human bodies do. They sweat when it's hot. Lotus said, how about the story where was no bathroom when one was needed? That has happened to me now. I was at a Chevrolet dealership when it hit me, and it was nighttime. And I couldn't wait. I couldn't go to where I had to go. I just stepped over beside one of the brand new Chevrolet trucks and used the bathroom. Boy, everybody was mad at me. Lotus said, I watch a lot of conspiracy stuff. Yeah. Lotus said, cool. Tinker said, this is the first time your live has ever popped up for me in a couple of weeks. It's been just showing up after they have ended for the most part. Oh, really? Well, at least it popped up. A lot of people's not been getting notifications. I hope it starts back. Rumple says, 6 o'clock. Bye. Take care, everyone. See you, Rumple. Thanks for stopping in. Maria said, cool story. I'll give it a 8 out of a 10. American Maker said, scientists don't know a whole lot about the planet. They mispredicted Mount St. Helen and people lost their life. Wildlife left in the area, and they ignored the normal signs. Went based on studies and reads. Yep. I don't know if I thought it was based on a true story, but that tidal wave come in like that, and everybody was just sitting there watching it instead of trying to get out of there. Might have been just a movie, I don't know, but I thought it was based on a true story. Cootie said, man, where the F is Kiko? Haven't seen him in about a week. Here's my pure purple crayon eater, so bad, so sad. Chris, I know, fish head, I sweat too. Oh no, do not go outside, you'll die. Chris, oh my God, I feel sorry for the car owner. Yeah. And well, whoever buys it. Alexa said 12.39. Rumple said 13. Jane said take care, Rumple. Lotus, oh my God, you could have leased shit on the Ford. I didn't have time to leave. Rumple said Jane. Later is TC. Lotus said poor Chevy. Carlos said, don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Pump up the volume, pump it up. Boggy says, I'm back. Lotus said, well, welcome back, Boggy. Alexis has got 12 and 39. I might just break 40 today. What y'all think? I think it being 8:30 and 40, I don't know, it'd be hard to get 50. I might squeeze 40 out of here. Maria said he didn't have time, so he did it on the car. Are you sure you don't hate that car? Boggy said I feel older than I am. Alexis 11 and 39. Goody said wait, did I take a crap on the shovel? Yeah, I had to go to the bathroom. I used to spend a lot of time on car dealerships in the afternoon and nights and stuff like that. When they close, I go look at all the vehicles. And I was out there, we had just eaten, it hit me and I had to go. I about didn't even get my pants down. Man, I just went on. I had to step over beside the Chevrolet truck. Whoever moved that truck from that spot probably didn't like it. Alex says, I just read that, sorry. Lotus said, welcome to the club, Boggy. Boggy said, club, where? Erwin said, yes. Tasami movie was called The Impossible about the 2004 India tsunami. Yeah, that was it. Everybody just watched the water start going out. They couldn't understand it. Damn it. Lotus said, club, I feel older than I am. Blake says 11 to 39. Cootie said, besides, and I bet you didn't even wipe your butt. I did. I just went home without any underwear on. Cootie said, it's confirmed. Pops walked around in poopy drawers. No. Lotus said, nope. he rode home without mud butt. That you're exactly right. Boggy said, oh, that club. Blake says 1339. Boggy said, gay. Come on, Boggy. You didn't have to go tell everybody you were gay. We knew it, but you didn't have to tell everybody. Cootie said, deny all you want. We know the truth. What you talking about? Let's see. Lex said 13, 12, 39. Maria said, I saw a documentary about America. Man, he went to the hottest country on earth on summertime and said, he said the heat is unbelievable and was sweating so hard. Boggy said, I'm not. Boggy says, what you talking about? Lotus said, did Boggy trade bunnies for bulls? My friend said, UNC Tar Heels made it to the College World Series. All right. Boggy says, hell no. Bunnies all the way. Lotus said, lol. Carlo said, let people be gay, but keep at least 10 feet away from me and keep your socks on. Maria said, so having a bathroom emergency without a bathroom was the true in the end? Yeah. Cootie said, it's a good thing I'm in Rhode Island. Big boys, RC laughing my ass off. You wouldn't get infected with the gay. Boggy said, Carlos, should we talk about the thing you said to Lotus? Alex said 16 to 39. Come on, people, 16 people in here, at least get me to 40. Somebody touch my leggy thingy. Lotus said, man. Boggy said, man, indeed. AJ says, hello, everyone. Hello, AJ. Cootie said, jokes about being gay is actually straightish. Hello. Boggy said, no, without socks on, old man. Maria said, Pops, don't make that face while reading my comments. Lotus says, I got my socks on. Jane said, hi, AJ. AJ says, good to see you. How was your day? It's good day. Good day. One day closer to the couple days off. Lex says 15:39. Cootie said, like I said, if I see a nice booty, laugh my ass off. Boggy said, definitely, definition of my sister right, Cootie. AJ says, hello, Jane. Alexis said, balloons. American Maker says, I got to go for now. All have a great night. See you, American Maker. Thanks for stopping in. AJ says, I'm a bit late, but I had a good day as well. Awesome. I like the good days. Carlos said, it's okay, Cootie. My support coordinator, Jessica, is gay. She's a great gal. Lotus said, good night, Merc. 12 people in here, 39 thumbs up. Alexa says 12 and 39. Like a porcupine. Jane says, take care, Maker. Hey, Jay says, how was the weather today? It was pretty nice. It got up kind of hot. I had to do a heat run. That's kind of why I was a little, well, y'all didn't know, but I was a little late getting here. But it's beautiful. Lotus said it was rainy there. Maria says, I haven't seen today's video. Boggy said, y'all take it easy. I got to go. I got work to do. All right, Boggy, thank you for stopping in. Lex says 13. Maria says, since you like summer, why you sweat anyway? I can't control the sweat. That's what my body does. Lex says 30. 30? You hit the wrong button. Lex says, later upon weed. Cootie said, dang, only 20 more minutes? How sad. Maria said, It don't matter about the heat and everything. Your body is supposed to. That's how your body cools itself off with sweat. Prince, I thought you really summer fan. I do like summer. Just cause I sweat, that don't mean anything. Lex says 14:39. Rich said, you should enjoy summer. I do. Cootie said, Alexis is crazy and delusional, and we all know why. AJ says, do you know Calicentra, the streamer universe? I do not. Maria said, okay, y'all, bye, have a good time. Dang. Don't get mad and leave. Be careful, Maria. Have a good night. Lex says 13 and 39. You ain't got to leave just because you're wrong. Cootie said bye, Maria. Maria's laughing. Lotus said, bot syndrome. Maria says, I'm not mad, I just need my sleep, dumbass. Alex said 14 and 39. Tigger says, if I didn't wear glasses, I wouldn't mind the heat so much, but it's a pain to keep them clean when need some wiper blades on the lenses when it's hot. I bet so. Maria said, I need to drink water too. Yeah, get you an ICGW. ice cold glacier water. Oh, I don't know what he's barking at. Jane said, Lowell, don't go away mad, Maria, just go away. Lake says 11. Maria said, Jane, laughing. AJ says, so you live in the same state as Long Ranch, Hugh, Ryan, Lotus, and Jane? No. Me and Hugh live in North Carolina. Ryan lives, well, I think Ryan lives in North Carolina. It's on the edge of Virginia. Lotus and Jane lives in Ohio. And Mike is it Michigan, I think? What are you barking at? Maria said, we don't have ISG, it's ICGW. Lake said 39. Maria says ICGW. Cutie said he doesn't want the heat, which is why he's skipped my comment, laughed my ass off. He knows Maria just might kick his butt. Did I skip your comment? No. The last thing you said was about Alexis and then by Maria. And I didn't skip your comment, it didn't come through. Jane said, Tinker, I know that problem. The sweat drops onto my glasses. Lotus says, no. Most of those people live in different states. Lotus says, Montana. Okay, sorry. I don't know why I said Michigan. Anyway, Maria said, of course, Cootie. I know he doesn't like summer because there's no person in his right mind would actually like summer. Who said I was in my right mind? Lotus said, I like summer. Yep, there you go. AJ says, AJ says, UAL meet at once. We all met on here. Lex says 10, 39. Maria said, Lotus, you do not. What in God's name? I think he might want out that cage. Alexis got balloons and a star. AJ says, or you all met over time as this channel grew. Yes, that's how we, they kind of knew each other, but they've all been coming in through the channel. Here's how we met. Lotus said, winter here is basically a frozen wasteland. It's okay, you're in your left mind. Cutie said, Lotus, you are lying to yourself. Alex says, 11, 15, 39. Jane said, poor dog, let him out of his box. AN says, hell yeah, yeah. Well, Randy should have let him out. Randy kind of punished him, but when I pulled the skid steer out, I raised the door and I put him in the box anyway. But I do need to let him out, but I should have let him out before I come up here and took the live over Randy. But normally after the live, I let him out. He heard something and went to barking. I don't know why he kept on. Lotus said, I really do. I don't like being hot, but I like swimming, RC boats, hiking. I can't do that kind of stuff in the cold winter. Exactly. Erwin said, my right mind says Cootie has a left mind. She's, yes, please. Tigger said, summer here sucks. Most of the time the weather calls for rain, but it just gets cloudy and extra humid. If you ain't got AC, you end up in the moss growing up your rear end. Lotus said, no one wants to go outside when it's TNF. Maria said, I hate summer. You got too much hatred in you, Maria. Way too much. Lex says 1339 and balloons. Maria said, I don't mind frozen in the winter, but I can't bear summer heat. AN said, today I caught 2 perch measuring 40 centimeters. Awesome. Lotus got balloons. Maria said, I just like you hate using a real bathroom. Golly, how you can get some stuff turned around. Lotus said, hi, Maria, everything below 0 hurts. Maria said, or real cheese. Alexa said, 12.39. And yes, Carlos said, or Samega, I don't know what it is. Cooney says, I'm gonna cry. Maybe it has some sort of filter for violent words like pinch, hello, and okay. Tinker says, ain't nothing wrong with a shower and a roll of TP. And that's right. AN says, I live in Dingafling of Lower Bardava. Maria says, show us your fake cheese. I don't have any right now. Lex says 13.39. Lotus says, Carlos, stop with the gross stuff. Maria said he doesn't want to show us his lunchbox for some reason. Why? You just want to find something to argue about. Maybe it has human meat in it. Girl. Alex said 12.39. Oh, Maria said, girl. AN said, I live in Lower Bavaria. I know I'm saying it wrong. Which is a region of Germany. Awesome. Maria said, in alien. I'm alien. Sorry, it translated it. Lotus says, I think you struck a nerve with Maria. No shit. Maria said, stop. Girl. Maria said, what does that mean, Lotus? I found that whatever aggravates you, well, whatever I said really aggravated you. Jane said, Carlo, why are you continuing to say things that are not appropriate? You've been here for a long time. You've been a member, and yet... Maria said, no, that's not true. No, that's not true. Girl. Alex says 11.39. Alex says 1. Yep, we need 1 more to make 40. Actually, I need 2 more because it always takes 1 away from me. But if I could get 2 more, I could say I got 40. We got 8 minutes. Lotus said, it's when you say something that aggravates someone. Maria said, now seriously, stop making that face while reading my comment. Girl! Lex says 12.39. Tinker says, okay, here you go. All right, got me 12.40. Hot damn. Squeeze 1 more, that way I'll be able to keep 40 out for tonight. Carlos said, Jane just having some harmless fun. Alexa said, 11. I'm showing 12. Maria said, now you deserve a bad photo, be mean. Lex says 40. Irwin says, sorry. Jane said, oh, that's not harmless. Ann said, we have a migration problem here in Germany. Recently, foreigners attacked my grandmother and tried to take the things she just bought as she was leaving the supermarket. Oh, that's not good. Lotus said, oh my God, no, not the Gen Z photo meme. Carlos says, who am I hurting, Jane? Alexis said 12 and 40. Lordy. Cootie said, hey, and I will fight. Notice me. Yeah. I just kidding. You got 5 more minutes. Alexa said 11 and 40. Jane said, hey, Pops, I'm signing off. Take care, all. See you, Jane. Thanks for coming in. Tinker says, arguing with on the internet is a lot like competing in a special events, even if you win. Ian said, say something in German or Bavarian, please. I wish I could. I don't know any kind of German or, Volkswagen. That's German, ain't it? Alexis 8 and 40. I am showing 10 and 40. Has everybody hit that like button for tonight? We ain't got but 4 more minutes. Alexis said yes. Well, thank you, Alexis. I do appreciate it. Appreciate all the help you give me there keeping up with the numbers. Lotus said, I was first, and I don't even take it back yet. AM said, you look like Aunt Denard. Alright. Tinker says, I only know a little Dutch German I learned from the Amish. Can't say any of it here though. Gosh darn it. Alexis said 7 and 40. Cootie said, AN, you're ignoring the one person who actually understands you without Pops. I'm gonna square up. Pops say freaking dish. That's close enough. Lotus said, hey, you about got me, Lotus. You about got me. Alex said 7 and 40. And said, one of my friends, his name, maybe. Lotus said, almost, you did. I caught it right there as it was coming off the end of my tongue. I got it. Good Lord. Carlo donated 25. He says, I am number uno. You should go to number uno right here in just a minute. It's still showing number 2. Let me go over here. Uh-oh. Goody said no. No, no. Now, if we're going to start this, I'm not going to sign off. We'll get it going. Come on now. Better there, better there. Goody said, smack you around. Lotus said, Lord, no shall be above Goody. No. Lotus said, no. Oh, I just read that. Sorry. And into your living room. Thank you for being here. We'll see you in the next video. Goody said, poo. Goodbye, Flippy. Bye, bye. Lotus said, come on, Carlo, your turn. We got a minute to win it.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And
We'll see you in the next video. Goody said I was waiting all stream for your shenanigans. Carlos said next time I'll donate 100. Ian said we gave one of my friends a name maybe because we don't know if they're fat or just dressed in a heavy way. Lotus said do it now. Goody said you might win next time. Y'all have a good day, good night whenever you're watching this. Hey, I appreciate the donations. I love Goody wanting to stay number one. Y'all have a good day, good night whenever you're watching this. And remember, keep it silly. Thank y'all.